climate change and ecological breakdown. We are lying down today because no amount of research, publication, political debate, or well-meant fair consumer behavior alone can pull us back from the point of no return, unless we act now. We are lying down today because there is no planet B. The capitalist system has already pushed the planet beyond its limits. This unequal model of economic development causes destruction, exploitation, and suffering to humans and ecosystems all around the world. Scientists have confirmed that we are in the midst of the 6th mass extinction of our planet. Today, CO2 levels are the highest they've been in millions of years. This causes more frequent, prolonged, and severe wildfires, droughts, and tropical storms. Climate breakdown may happen much faster than we expect it to happen, as positive feedback loops might provoke irreversible chain reactions, such as the melting of the permafrost or the alteration of oceanic currents. The 1.5 degree temperature rise considered safe by the Paris Agreement may be reached as soon as 2030. However, our governments are failing to bring their engagement into action. Billions of dollars are every year still invested in the coal industry, and most countries in the world are off track to meet the Paris Agreement. For many people in the world, there is nothing safe about 1.5 degrees of global warming. Not long ago, in the time of 2 weeks, 2 consecutive cyclones crashed into Southeast Africa, catastrophically impacting the lives of over 2 million people. At 1.5 degree warming, many small island nations, states, and coastal regions will be wiped out. Many cities in the Netherlands are below sea level. We too will face an existential threat. We will face the displacement of millions of people. We will face a surge in conflict over access to food and fresh water supplies. We will face toxic oceans, bleached coral, and fishery collapse. Addressing climate change is our shared social responsibility and moral obligation. But neither its causes nor its consequences are equally distributed. The climate crisis will deepen existing inequalities and axes of oppression with which we are so familiar. We cannot talk about climate change without talking about climate justice. We cannot talk about climate justice without talking about racism, patriarchy, class inequality, and other systems of oppression. Governments are failing to treat the situation as what it is, an existential emergency. We are calling on the government to take urgent and far-reaching action. Extinction Rebellion demands our government. 1. Tell the truth about the climate and ecological crisis that threatens our existence and communicate the urgency for change. 2. Act now to halt biodiversity loss and reduce greenhouse gas emissions to net zero by 2025 in a just and fair manner. 3. Let the citizens decide by establishing a citizens' assembly which takes the lead on climate and ecological justice. And we're not alone. During the past months, rebels and students, people of all ages and all colors, all around the world have been voicing similar demands. They are pressuring the government and institutions to wake up and to treat this emergency with the urgency that it requires. We are lying down today because our political and educational institutions have failed us. We are lying down today for system change, not climate change. We are lying down today to fight for climate and social justice. We are lying down today because we believe in a world filled with care and compassion for all living beings. We are lying down today because tomorrow is already too late. Therefore, we must rise up and do what is necessary. We cannot wait any longer. We must act now. Join us. Join us on the 7th of October for the International Rebellion. Amsterdam will join many cities around the world, like Berlin, London, New York, Melbourne, Sydney, for a massive action of civil disobedience. We will return to the Rijksmuseum by the thousands to enforce fair and sustainable government policies. Take responsibility for our future. Lie down with us and rise for the rebellion. Thank you.